awake for the final session of this conference. I think we can start because not many people are coming in at the moment. So welcome everyone for a beautiful session on co-creating change, regenerative tourism through partnerships and purpose. I would like to welcome everyone to this session, but I would like to first and foremost start with honoring the legacy of Green Destinations partner, colleague, and our dear friend, Josep Capella, who's we very sadly lost this summer. But Josep was a true pioneer in sustainable tourism in Catalonia. Already in the 1980s, Josep clearly recognized the negative impacts that tourism could generate, while also highlighting its potential as a driver for revitalizing inland areas affected by depopulation in Spain. Throughout his career, Josep played a key role in supporting municipalities across Catalonia and beyond. He dedicated a large part of his professional life to the municipality of Torroella de Montgrí, where he served as councillor for tourism between 1991 and 1999, and as a strategic advisor until his retirement in 2021, so more than 30 years. Together with Ima, in the top 100 competition, he shared the inspiring story of Estartit's environmental coastal zone restoration under immense pressure from tourism development. One of the stories I truly remember as one of the first stories of the top 100 that is still in my mind. And it also helped Torroella to obtain the first Green Destinations Gold Award in Spain. We are profoundly grateful for everything Josep has given to Green Destinations, our shared mission, and his legacy will continue to inspire us in the work ahead. But I would like to pass on the microphone to our first presenter, who has been much more close to Josep, Mr. Jordi Colomi, the mayor of Torroella de Montgrí-l'Estartit. Torroella de Montgrí-l'Estartit is a municipality in the coastal region of Catalonia, Spain, and as its mayor, Mr. Colomi is dedicated to promoting sustainable tourism development and preserving the area's cultural and natural heritage. Plays a key role in fostering tourism, environmental stewardship, and community well-being. Mr. Jordi, I would like to call you to the stage, and please, the floor is yours. And the presentation will be in French, so please go ahead. So everyone turn on your translator. Please go ahead.
Merci. Thank you, Hugo. Bon après-midi à tous et à toutes. Comme nous a expliqué Hugo, je m'appelle Jordi Colomi, je suis le maire de Torroella de Montgrí et l'Estartit. Et j'aimerais vous parler un peu de notre commune et de l'engagement que nous avons pris en faveur du tourisme régénératif. Nous sommes situés au cœur du parc naturel du Montgrí, de les îles Medes et du Baix-Ter, et cela fait plusieurs années que nous travaillons à développer un modèle touristique innovant, durable et respectueux de notre environnement naturel. Comme vous voyez, nous sommes situés à nord-est de l'Espagne, nord-est de la Catalogne et au cœur de la côte brave. Ce modèle de tourisme régénératif est appuyé sur la promotion d'expériences transformatrices telles que la protection et la restauration des espaces naturels, la valorisation du patrimoine local ou encore la mise en place d'un nouveau modèle de développement territorial plus équilibré et respectueux de l'environnement. Je vais maintenant vous présenter plus en détail certaines de ces expériences transformatrices qui nous ont permis de nous positionner comme une destination pionnière dans le domaine du tourisme Regenerative. L'un des projets les plus emblématiques est le Life Pletera, une initiative ambitieuse et innovante de désurbanisation et de restauration écologique du littoral qui a répondu à une aspiration profonde du territoire. La Pletera était une urbanisation déjà construite avec 2 km de rue, avec tous les services préparés pour construire 450 maisons. Ce projet a permis de restaurer des zones humides de grande valeur écologique, de corriger des impacts urbanistiques passés et de redonner à la nature un espace qui lui appartenait, aujourd'hui devenu un atout pour la biodiversité, la sensibilisation environnementale et un tourisme respectueux. La désurbanisation et la régénération de la Pletera sont le fruit d'un changement de modèle de développement territorial et touristique, initié par la municipalité et concrétisé dans le plan général approuvé en 2001. Ce plan, dont l'élaboration a commencé en 1997, a été distingué par le prix Catalogne d'urbanisme pour avoir formulé un modèle ayant pour axes structurants l'environnement et les paysages sans négliger les autres usages, en particulier les usages agricoles, récréatifs et touristiques. Un élément clé de ce changement a été le modèle de gestion territoriale mis en place dans la commune depuis 1983, permettant de dépasser l'expansionnisme et la croissance urbaine en contrôler qui dégradent les espaces naturels. En 1983, le premier plan général démocratique a été approuvé bouleversant la politique urbanistique municipale. De vastes zones d'expansion urbaine, notamment le long de la côte et dans les zones agricoles, ont été supprimées. Et la croissance prévue est passée de près de 120 000 habitants à environ 15 000. Des hauteurs maximales des bâtiments ont été établies. La protection du territoire et du paysage a été priorisée et des espaces pour équipements publics et zones vertes ont été créés. De plus, la planification est passée sous la responsabilité de la mairie plutôt que des promoteurs privés. Le plan général de 2001 a réaffirmé ces principes et a inclus la restauration de la Pletera en zone humide. Sur cette diapositive, on peut voir l'évolution du plan général d'urbanisme depuis l'année 1967 jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Ce parcours permet de mieux comprendre comment la vision urbanistique de la commune a évolué au fil du temps. Le premier plan général, 1967. Le premier plan général, c'est franquiste, c'est de la dictature de Francisco Franco. 1983, le premier plan général démocratique. 2001, le second plan démocratique. Et puis, le parc naturel de Montgrí, les Illes Medes et el Baix Ter. Pour conclure avec les exemples d'expériences transformatrices, il faut souligner la création du parc naturel en 2010, qui a été créé dans le but de préserver non seulement la richesse des fonds marins dans l'un des principaux centres de plongée de la Méditerranée, mais aussi de protéger toute la richesse paysagère et les différents écosystèmes qui composent les parcs. Sur cette diapositive, vous pouvez également voir la chronologie de la protection depuis le projet de réserve sous-marine en 1971 jusqu'à l'approbation du parc naturel en 2010. Rien de tout cela n'aurait été possible sans l'engagement de personnes telles que Josep Capellà, qui nous a quittés il y a juste quelques mois. Josep a été un pionnier et une référence dans le tourisme durable et la gestion territoriale au sein de la commune. Engagé et en avance sur son temps, il a promu un modèle de développement respectueux et innovant qui a permis la transformation vers une société plus durable et cohesive. Il a collaboré à de nombreux projets tant au niveau local qu'international, défendant toujours la durabilité comme voie vers un avenir offrant des opportunités pour tous. Le meilleur hommage qu'on puisse lui rendre est à continuer à travailler avec détermination sur ces modèles qu'il a contribué à construire. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much for this beautiful explanation. Monsieur, vous êtes... merci. The next presentation will be Victor Fernandez Morales, General Director of La Buena Huella and recognized expert in sustainable tourism, leadership, and regeneration. With a background in tourism business management and CSR, is the creator of frameworks such as Triple Circle Leadership, Connected Leadership, and Competitive Regenerative Model. Victor has led over 250 projects and teaches postgraduate courses on sustainable management and global strategy, and contributes to the UN Global Compact Tourism Group in Spain. That's a lot on your resume, but I'm sure there's a lot more and more interesting things that you can share with us. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Hugo. And there's one very important thing that is not in the introduction. I have the pleasure to know Josep Capella, who is one of the fathers of the regenerative model, where most people we work after, but he was before us. So, with this, I'm going to talk about Escuela Regenerativa Competitiva. It's one of the Lanzarote experience, okay? So, we have a reality. Which is our reality? We come from some of the best years in terms of data in tourism, in number of people to come on holidays to Spain, the factor numbers, revenue, number of companies each year. Okay, but in the same years, we have the double of the percentage of unemployment than the OCDE in Spain. We have the double of unemployment. And the principal problem of the tourism in Spain for those years is that there's not enough people to work. And there's not enough motivated people to work in tourism industry in Spain. Strange, no? People who needs to work, companies to need to employ, the first industry the 14% of the NPS of the PIB, the national PIB. What's happening? We have a failure system. We have to know that we have serious problem of the sustainable tourism, but not yet talking about sustainable as environmental terms, as social terms. We have created a model, a touristic model, that community doesn't want. It doesn't mean the tourismophobia. It doesn't mean yet problems with tourists. No, it means problem with our sector. Is much huge, the problem, than the tourismophobia. This is our situation. Okay, we have a solution. Escuela Regenerativa Competitiva is not an institution. It's not a place to be graduated. It's not a place to have a course. It's not a place to give accreditations. It doesn't mind for us. It's a tool. This school is just a tool. For what? It's a tool which connects people in disadvantaged situation, lot of disadvantaged situation, in gender violence, immigration, disastructured families, young people with kids, people after 50 years old that are not connected with the labor market, lot of situations. All the situations which can put us, everybody, in a vulnerable situation. We took them and we connect them with what? With the companies which need to contract today. The tool connect one part from the thing that they want more is to work, to have money, and to have a place in the society. It's very important, this. With companies that if they don't have employees, they can't grow, they can't increase their revenue, they can't have future without employees, without people, okay? We connect doing what? We connect doing programs, dual programs inside the companies. All this project is a non-profit project. Nobody pays. Companies don't pay, participants don't pay, anybody pays, okay? We do it by a concrete methodology, which we share because for sure it's not the best methodology in all over the world. And we don't want to be the best because we are not competing in this sense. But we share because it's getting results. We are going to see at the end of the explanation the results, the data after the programs, okay? The methodology is that we teach in all the programs in the social competence, digital competence, efficiency, sustainable competence, and technical function competence. Why always those four? Why always in this sequence? First, the first thing that we have to know is to treat people. I have really bad character. I'm not a social person. But as CEO of a company, I have to be the first commercial of this company. And I have to go and have dinners and all those things, and I hate it. But it's part of my work. It's like this. So people have to know how to treat other people, the colleagues, the boss, the clients. They have to say hello every day. Something that maybe for you is normal. Well, not for everybody. You can be the best doing one work, and the company has to fail you because you are insupportable. How do you say insupportable in English? Do you understand, no? Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. Then competence in digital competence is not about to use a computer, to use Facebook, no. Is to use exactly the tools of your work. If you have to use a PDI in this work, we teach you this PDA in order that the competence, the digital competence you need to be employed is what we teach you. Okay, it's very important. Use a computer. It's not useful to work in this place, okay? For us, the sustainable has two parts. One, and the first, the most important, is the healthy way to work, or in Spanish is bienestar. We teach how to work in good conditions by yourself. And then the second, how to use the resources at your disposition. Okay? And at least how to work in all the work employees that are available. Okay? So with this competence, we work at the same time growing the same tree, company, and person. Just one program, both of them, one solution for each problem. Impacts. Well, he's not important, but the other, yes. We impact in lives. It changes lives. It changes economical condition of the territory. Instead of giving a payment, mensual payment to a person who needs it of 1,000 euro, you'd stop giving this 1,000 euro. After this, he is working, he is paying taxes, and this per month changes the global economy of the territory in mostly 3,000 euro just this moment, just this position, just this, no moment, sorry, my English is horrible, movement. This movement, this change of life, it supposes us in the territory and over 3,000 euro. When this person has this amount of money, not the 3,000, the payment they have for their works, they push the economy, okay? Not the worst works for the vulnerable people. He is been training for electrician. If you in Lanzarote call an electrician to come home in order to do something, just to come and 1 hour is 150 euro for 1 hour of work. Is not a training for the base, for the pure, for what all the people don't want to work and is your position. No. All the positions, all the futures. It depends on you. We give you the opportunity, and depending on your practice, on your effort, you can get when everybody can get. It's very important, this. For example, one program, 22 participants. Just only 4% of dropout. Less dropout than in the university average, less. In a niche where people abandon everything. Less than 4%. 100% of program completers graduated. 17% hired and still working. More average just after the program than the business schools in Spain. And I'm teacher of postgraduated in a business school. I have the data. It's also my... In 2025 goal, train 100 people and connect. We are going to increase this goal of 100 people because nowadays in September we have passed this objective is done. With more than 70 people connect. This impact for Lanzarote, with these numbers, is important. And when a person, and I, just for finishing, I have one person with 54 years old who cry, a man who cry, when we gave him the diploma, recognized, because was the first time that somebody gives him something, recognition in all his life. So from heart, and from pocket, Escuela Regenerativa Competitiva is growing from Lanzarote to more than 8 schools in Spain, and will be pleased to share with you in order to come from Lanzarote to all your places this type of program. I remember, no money, non-profit, okay? See you soon.
Thank you so much. Muchas gracias, Víctor. Muchas gracias. There we go. Thank you so much for these insights. Interesting approach for regenerative tourism and regeneration of destinations. On we go to José María de Juan Alonso, a leading figure in responsible tourism with over 25 years experience advancing sustainable travel and community-based initiatives. As co-founder and director of Cohen Consulting, he has guided projects across Europe, Latin America, Asia, focusing on regenerative tourism, cultural heritage preservation, and inclusive visitor experiences. He has advised governments, tourism boards, and organizations such as the UNWTO on embedding sustainability into tourism strategies. We're keen to hear your story. Jose Maria, please take the floor.
Thank you very much. So I can do it from here, it's okay? You listen to me well? Good, just a minute. As Hugo was saying, the idea was to share some facts, some ideas, and some opportunities. Also to share, as Victor just said, some different initiatives we are developing at the moment to change a bit the reality. It's something a bit maybe too critical, but you will see immediately what I am talking about. I call it something like demand diversity and social inclusiveness, because in most of the events, conference, and even in the projects I am currently running, it is one of the things I really miss completely. I go to many congresses, just to put an example, called sustainability or innovation and sustainability, and then the first thing I realize is that 90% of the time we are talking about technology or environmental issues, the water footprint, energy footprint, and at the end of the day, 5% time we talk about social issues, maybe 5% we talk about economy impact. So most of the day is environment and technology. And if I understood well, when I was studying, sustainability has 3 pillars, or even 4, if we call social, cultural, if we separate it. And this is not what is really happening. And for me, I am very critical with not with the regenerative tourism model, which is something totally different, but very critical of how the regenerative tourism term, the concept, is being used as a kind of fashionable term, and what I want to mean is that we have been unable, as we have seen this morning, thanks to the different facts explained by Xavier Font, Albert Salman, many others, we didn't reach, we still did reach very small goals in sustainable tourism, very small goals in ecotourism, small goals in responsible tourism, and now we fill our mouth talking about regeneration, what we have been even able to feel the very, very first steps. I really don't like it. This, I don't need it. I call it, bueno, this is the name of the panel. It was just to refresh my mind. It's so funny. I was also told to, because we also were working together, I used to be representative of green destinations for Spain, and we made with agreement with Josep many years ago to, for him to care about Catalonia, so it was two separated works, and we were collaborating. But so funny, we chose the same picture, all of us. So there are so many pictures everywhere of Josep, and we choose the same one. Things. For me, one thing is the main difficulty we have to face is what I call this the challenging diversity. So we see that the tourism is growing, and at the global level is setting a lot of new challenges. In a country like Spain, for example, like mine, we see that every year is coming new waves of different tourists with different, as I can see here, for example, the scenario, different age, different religion, different food styles, different family formats, different new gender approaches, etc. And if I have a look in general at the hotel and the tourism industry, is very industrialized, very standardized. There is a very few attention to diversity. When I talk, for example, in any destination about accessibility, for example, immediately they told me about the ramps. We have ramps in the beaches, we have ramps in the hotels, but it's not only that. There are a lot of many other factors. I have no time to get into many other factors of attention to accessibility, attention to diversity that are not contemplated at all, not even in the plan. So inclusiveness or inclusivity, however is it called, is, according to me, is a failure which is happening. But we have still more. We have ethnic origin, reduced mobility, cultural exclusion, economic exclusions, and many, many other factors. And this is why I am promoting in the different projects I will mention later, especially a more, we call it with me and my partners, the human-centric model, so something which is more centered in the people, but not only in the tourists, which is important, but also in our locals. I put some examples later, but it's just come to my mind. I am quite free on doing these things. We have places, we have islands in my country, where, and in all the Mediterranean, which be proud of being certified and leading the sustainable tourism, whatever, and the employees of the hotels and the doctors taking care of the tourists and the locals are living in caravans, are living in infra houses, are living in campings, because they cannot afford not even a under medium-sized apartment. They are unable. And the people complain, oh, we have no doctors. It's logical. You have no doctors because you prefer to rent the apartment for 10,000 euros in summer and not to rent for 1,000 euros to the local doctor or the local nurse. So there is no attention. And the people taking care of this incredibly growing tourism, 94 million something last year, is forced to live in infra housing. So this is also inclusivity. It's very nice to talk about inclusivity. Now we have halal food, it's perfect. We have ramps, it's perfect. But then we pay very ridiculous salaries to the employees. This is perfect too, but this is also inclusivity. So it's something that we forgot completely. Most of the models forgot completely the employees and the immediate consequences in the local people. And I think it's something we are paying already. We are paying the fee for that, with all these demonstrations and all these over-tourism demonstrations, tourismophobia, etc. We are paying the bill for all this that we have been doing during years. So this is why are the destinations and companies ready to these challenges? I am sure not. I'm completely can demonstrate that. But there is even something more. So there are some answers, some Some organizations, they are trying to work in this vision, the International Social Tourism Organization, for example, or the European Network for Accessible Tourism. They do things. They do lots of things. But we have the second problem. Most of these things, they are totally isolated. There is not a place, there is not an ecosystem where we put everything together. I go sometimes to some destinations where I am developing a project. My company is developing different kinds of European projects, and then we are the third project doing exactly the same that the destination hub is doing in different partners. There is not an ecosystem where we can share the best practices. We are developing catalogs of best practices all the time. We are giving trainings to the same people all the time. We are developing materials on the same issues all the time, because there is not a coordination. There is only one who pays, which is the European Union, normally, and at least in my case. But then nobody is able to put all this together and to make it more profitable. So we are especially, and I can put another examples on this socio-economic challenge, with the incredible amount of money. I put the example of my country, but it can be applied to many other European countries. We are receiving from the Next Generation funds. The biggest quantity is devoted to technology and devoted to build things. We are not building capacity, we are not building market intelligence, we are not building commercial extractors. We are building things. We are acquiring systems that after this money is over, nobody will be able to take care of that, because we are not building the intelligence and the capacity to keep it running, and probably the companies providing this, they will disappear after the funds. So you have nobody to call to keep running the very intelligent system you develop thanks to the Next Generation funds. And this 20 years doing that is a bit too much. But even though we are looking at that this problem, this question of we didn't tackle the social stuff, this summer has been very critical. This is why it is very opportune to talk about this here, because this summer has been extremely critical. For first time in life, some luxury places in France or in Italy told, we have empty restaurants. People is having picnic in the beaches, in luxury destination. This happens first time. This year. There are lots of news about that. It happens first time that in some Spanish Balearic Islands, companies have to fire people in the middle of the high season because they were lots of tourists, but they were in the beach, or they were in the Airbnb, or they were in the camping. They were not spending money in the restaurants or the hotels, and then they have to fire people in the middle of August. So this is, if something happens in places which are supposed to be leading some sustainable whatever, we are really having a problem. And this is why even clients coming from the powerful economies, they come now from Germany, they come from Japan, from wherever, and they ask for a beer to share 5 people during a couple of hours in the terrace, demolishing totally the model of consumption we used to have. So the commerce now is thinking of what can we do now with this new wave of tourists. So the more low cost, less economic impact for the place, but a lot of externalities. We have to pay for the security, we have to pay for the information, we have to pay for the cleaning, we have to pay for everything, but there is less and less and less money coming per tourist. So this is the social impact of that is something incredible, and not even the academia is able to have the total knowledge, because they are not studies. And this is why, what do we have to regenerate? That's my question. So this is what I put this reflection. I cannot imagine a regeneration without this. We don't consider these factors. So something which is these efforts we are making in the environmental side, for me, are totally marginal if we are surpassing all carrying capacities, and then new migrant populations, young people, women, young families, they are particularly affected. This is the first time, as we mentioned in all the economic studies, the next generation will be the first generation much more poor in terms of wealth than their parents. So my generation, the boomers, we are accumulating 80 more times wealth than the generation coming to. And this is the reason why there are so many dogs so less children. It's normal, it's impossible. It's very difficult for a person even counting with a good salary, and these people, they are employees in the tourism industry. That's my point. I'm not talking about something global. It's people working in the tourism industry cannot afford a normal living in the destinations. But in parallel, the main thing which is coming to this for me is that in parallel, we talk about responsible, eco, bio, bobo, buen bourgeois, wealthy, healthy, old people, all these lot of things, and then it's built a kind of ghetto, a kind of paradise. It's getting an elite. So at the moment, we can find, I don't mention the places, in many places, many islands, many coasts, many places I know, they are the eco-bio paradise, eco-bio resort, eco-friendly, whatever, incredibly expensive, and then this totally isolated from everything. Then you go to the beach, is the Ryanair tattoo profile tourists. So it's no money. Lots they sleep in the beach. They don't have a proper lodging. And then we are subsidizing that because we pay every year the same destination talking full in their mouth about regeneration. They are paying subsidies to Ryanair to bring more of this kind of tourists to fill the beaches. And then the responsible tourists ready to pay, they say, okay, we want to go there, but not with these guys in the beach. So let's go to one of our hidden paradises. Where nobody will bother us with the noise and getting drunk, etc. And this is, we are not bridging the gap, we are making the gap more and more broad. So I think it's something that, for me, the thing is how long can we stand this, and if we have to recover some of very old concepts we talked at the very beginning. It was the fair tourism. First thing, the tourism has to be fair. Has to be fair to everybody. Has to be fair for the new generations. Has to be fair for the employees. Has to be fair for everything. And then the local societies, the more the underdeveloped is the destination, the more impactful is all this situation. Apparently, this model of the fake paradises is not considering the social factor so far. There's a lot of reflection on that, but just to be finishing, I understand we cannot talk properly about this regeneration, and we are reducing the basics of living for local population. We are reducing health services, for example. We are reducing bank services, transport, because we need lots of these resources for the tourism sector in many places. And finally, we just try from our humble position to work in some solutions. There's all the information here. It's just the last one. So we try, for example, we are now working together in the European Commission in a bank of solutions for accessibility, counting with the local people called Diana, with different European partners. I don't go to the details because everything is in the website. In another project, a single market program, called Futurisme, we are now training in the next step of the project, which is currently running, training all the companies in the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is part of the training model. We are also developing a model especially for women, for the vulnerable women in the rural areas, where they combine all the vulnerabilities possible, a project in community, and finally, as many of these people affected for that. I talk about the young people, but when we talk about the old people, it's even worse, because sometimes these people, thanks to the impact, the social impact in the destination, they cannot even get out of the house because they don't have the same opportunities of mobility, of internet or banking. And we started a new alliance of companies called 55 Plus Hub to tackle especially what can we do with this population, both employees, tourists, and local community. Just some examples, and I hope it made to you to reflection a bit, to add some food for thought for the rest of the meeting. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, José María. Muchas gracias. Thank you for sharing your insights on regenerative tourism destinations. The next pre-final presenter, Roman Kamal, is a leading advocate for community-based tourism and Director General of Community Tours, Sian Khan a pioneering Maya cooperative in Quintana Roo, Mexico. With over 15 years of experience, Roman has driven sustainable tourism models rooted in cultural heritage, environmental stewardship, and a local empowerment. His leadership has led to international recognition, including award nominations and sustainability certifications, and among others, the top 100 story competition of green destinations. I'm understanding that he will be supported by a translator. So would you need two microphones? Yeah, there you go.
Gracias.
The floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Malok in Tintalaklesh, Kimakiwo, Intalit Sikwatesh, Bishimi Yahon, Tiu Reserva, Biosfera Siancán, México. Manuel Galindo, Leti Kunzaik, la presentación, Chucano. Buenas tardes a todos, Manuel Galindo va a dar la explicación completa de nuestra presentación. Me llamo Román Camal, vengo de la Reserva de la Biosfera de Siancán, México.
The very first introduction was in Maya, which we are very proud to have still in our communities, from Mexico to the north of Honduras, and El Salvador is the southernmost part. We have about 4 million people speaking Maya today as their mother tongue. The very first introduction in Maya of Roman was his name, coming from Siancán Biosphere Reserve, and he's leaving me alone now because he says I'm going to be in charge of the whole presentation. Please, welcome. Who we are. After all of that, small moment, we would like to give our condolences to the family of Mr. Capola. We have not the chance to meet him, but we understand he's one of the pillars of all of our ideals and goals. So, to his family, our condolences. Siancán, Community Tour Siancán, it's a model, it's a story of transformation. Here we are. We are children, grandchildren of Mayan families with deep tradition, most of us with a big heritage, with life in balance with our environment. And we have the transformative power of strategic alliances between community-based private sector, government institution, and we forgot to put the non-profit organizations. So we are working on low impact tourism, obviously Mayan owners. I was very, very attentive to Mr. Jose's presentation. We have been very aware of the impact of tourism with local communities, and it's very, very nice that we are one of them that is empowered to follow this. We have programs of environmental education, and we are very lucky. We are working inside a national protected area, which is Siancán Biosphere Reserve. Our business is a model. We are users, and now we are guardians of our territory. And this is a beautiful thing, because what it used to be a national resource that it was used, sorry for my English, in a way that it produced an impact. Now we can use it in a way that is promoting conservation. The journey of Community Tour Siancán, it's a story of resilience, adaptation, and ancestral wisdom applied to modern challenges. There is no easy path. There are always potholes in our way, so it's not that from one day to another, in a blink of eyes, we just understood how to deal with it, and we became in balance with our activities. It has been a growing, constant growing step. We have here a small timeline. Siancán was decreed as a biosphere reserve January 20th of 1986. In the 2000, we had the possibility to become a cooperative. 2004, we are full independent cooperative after training and a lot of work and sweat in that. And finally, in 2025, we start to see recognitions. It's very important for people who's living isolated, that we believe we are isolated. We are not sure if we are doing a good job or not. Suddenly have that help, that hand touching your shoulder behind, so it's really beautiful. Siancán, that's our paradise. It's Mayan for where the sky is born. It's really beautiful. The real old sentence is Sijante Cano, which it means a gift from the sky, and today it's more well known as the place where the sky is born. And as you can see, come on. I think we don't need too much words for this. Well, it's a little bit of the story of Siankan when it was declared a biosphere reserve. How Mayan community was involved. Programs became not just a biosphere reserve, a World Heritage Site, and today is also a Ramsar site for the conservation of the wetlands. Tourism is not our main economic force. So the beautiful thing of tourism in Siankan Biosphere Reserve is that all of us, our guides are the hands that are taking our crops, doing the handcrafting, taking care of our local bees. And we have a beautiful example here. Milpa is a multi-crop in Mexico. All America, as in Europe, you have mustard, wheat. We have done it with corn. And with corn, we have this multi-crop growing beans and squash. And by doing so, we guarantee that the system maintains the balance of the soil. We have just transpolated that to our activities, all of what we do in our regular lives with tourism. And that's a very good example of the vision that we have, that economy and culture can coexist perfectly in harmony. I have to go faster, sorry. This is our engine. This is our engine, and each one of these gears represents ourselves. Mr. Jose was saying something really beautiful in his explanation. We are here. This is us. We are the center of the engine. On one side, we have academy and NGOs that are giving us the training and that giving us the possibilities to keep going farther, like to being here. And in the other side, we have private sector that helps to our economy, and obviously government that give us all of the guidelines. Sorry for being stepping in front. About our activities and what we are involved with, for example, we have very strong commitment with our communities, so we have little guardians. More than 250 children has been training and being fast in bird watching to become our next guides. All of the people who didn't know about Siankan Biosphere Reserve are part of our get to know. We have monitorings of biodiversity and quality of water. Obviously, collaboration with, as I explained before, government, non-profit organizations, and the academia. This is us. Water monitoring, our little guardians. Images are telling more than what we can say. About NGOs and our pride of being working with them is that recognition is also moving in our economy. So we have been 300% more visible in social medias, 1,870 more visitors per year. Yes, and our qualification, people believe that we have 4.75 stars of 5. That's the average. So we are really, really proud of that. Partnerships and transformation. The goal is that we just cannot hold this for us. As it's a community-based business, we want to save the potholes for other communities, for the other community-based business. So we have Peninsular Alliance of Community-Based Tourism. We have Caminos Sagrados, sacred paths. In Maya is Kich Peyo. And well, we try to replicate the model we have reached in this time. I'm sorry, I think I just passed the time. But this is our area of impact. This is Siankan Biosphere Reserve. And we just put here, this is the area of Montpellier, so you have an idea how big is Siankan. So we have 528,000 hectares. Regeneration of the soul. I always have said, we fall in love with our surroundings through the eyes of our visitors. But one of the most beautiful concepts is it creates a virtuous circle, a virtuous cycle. Because our visitors also fall in love with what we are doing back home. And it's the word of mouth recommendation that take us where we are. Beyond tourism, well, tool of cultural preservation, mechanism for environmental conservation, pride and identity. As I say, since the beginning, we are Mayan. We have experienced exploitation of tourism. And I will love to keep talking about this, but I hope this reach our goal, and I hope we can transmit to you what is deep in our hearts. We truly believe in the love of that, so we hope you can join our enterprise with local communities, with you. This is how you can contact us. Nous vous remercions chaleureusement pour votre accueil et votre générosité. Sorry for the time.
No. Very well, very well. Thank you so much, Roman Siankan. Very interesting insights from that part of the world, community-based contexts. So we are going to the final presenter of this session and of today, actually, in the parallel sessions at least. Francisco Roncaglio Lepio, mayor of the commune of Cisnes, Chilean Patagonia. The case of Puyuhuapi, one of our latest additions to the Green Destinations Awards program, proud receiver of the certificate yesterday in the award ceremony. Please, the floor is yours. I understand you will present in Spanish or in English.
Yes. Okay. Hello. How are you? Whoa. How are you? Right. Yeah. Well, I need 1 minute in Spanish in memory de Joseph. It's only because the family and friends speak Spanish. Como destino Puyuhuapi, de la región de Aysén, entregamos nuestras más sentidas condolencias a la familia y a los amigos. No tuvimos la oportunidad de conocerlo, pero sí somos parte de esta gran familia de Green Destination y por lo tanto, obviamente, su legado y todo lo que ha hecho no solamente ha quedado acá, sino que también es parte de la experiencia que se ha transmitido a otros lugares y nosotros somos parte como destino de esa experiencia. Thanks. Well, the organization say me I need to speak in English or French, yeah? But I speak Spanish. Sorry for this. The passion moved us. We come from the end of the world, yeah, where the wind and glacier set the pace. If we crossing the half the planet, and even from so far away, today we go on this mission to contribute from our corner of the world is Green Destination. Yeah. My name is Francisco Roncagliolo. The history today is Puerto Puyuhuapi, the history of green futures. Puerto Puyuhuapi is a gateway to Queulat National Park, the soul of Chilean Patagonia. Yeah. The path to green destiny, roots and identity. Puyuhuapi is a blend of European and Chilote cultures. Chilote is the national people. Yeah. German settlers have been present since 1935 alongside the Huilliche heritage. Yeah? The cultural identity is expressed in architecture, gastronomy, artisanal fishing, cultural events such as curanto and kuchen. Curanto is typical it, and Kuchen is German. And traditional craft like handmade wool carpets. Las tradiciones o the tradition as all as dyeing cheap wall-weight natural fibers, leaves and roots are preserved in Puyuhuapi. I see you in the picture. Well, how did green destination begin in Puerto Puyuhuapi? With a good idea, yeah? Whose? Well, and those who accompany me today is the people here. Verónica Gallardo, ¿sí? President of the Puerto Puyuhuapi Chamber of Tourism and Commerce. Say me, Mayor, is a good idea. Yo, Say, Mayor, is a good idea. Yo, it's very expensive. But say, it's a good idea. Well, let's go. Is now here. Paola Rodriguez is here. Is a certified company representative, the Muelle Restaurant. Adonis Acuña, certified company representative, the Experiencia Austral tour operator. Path to the present, strength and achievements. A resilient and organized community independent of circumstance. Sustainable tourism as an economic driver in the community. The attraction, well, National Park Queulat is the place more important in this zone. During your tour, you can go trekking with see flora and fauna, as well as a navigator in the fire, en esos fiordos nuestro, and enjoy the hot spring. Our municipality is committed to supporting the local community. The present, the achievements, now is Puyuhuapi's top 100 green destination 2023, empowerment communities. Puyuhuapi is the only destination in Chile con companies certificate for 2024. Of the 10 companies that participate, 6 were certified now. Today, the last night, Puyuhuapi destination, Puyuhuapi destination certification with silver category 2025. It's a good news. Now, the challenges, our goal is to achieve gold level destination certification. Yeah. And the certification of Puerto Puyuhuapi is our first step to begin in the rest of the commune. Today is only Puyuhuapi, but in our communes is 7 towns. Yeah. The idea is this certification is a all community, yeah, in concept, yeah. Thank you for your time. Thanks Municipalidad de Cisnes, Gobierno Regional, per turismo Cámara de Puyuhuapi. En Spanish es mucho esfuerzo de muchos para que pudiéramos llegar aquí. Así que, thanks.
Muchas gracias, señor Francisco. It's time for the Q&A, questions and answers. So please, all the presenters have a seat at the high chairs. Por favor, diríjense a las sillas para que, so we can ask questions from the room and we can start a panel discussion. Yeah. No, yo me quedo aquí. Okay, so I think everyone had some time to think of questions. Is there any question to any of the presenters from anyone in the room here that you are keen to hear further explanations or clarifications about the stories that were told to them this afternoon? Anything? Nothing? No?
Myself.
Sorry, you were saying, Cassandra?
Can I, is it working?
Yeah?
Yeah. May I ask a question myself?
Of course, please, go ahead.
I have a question for Victor. You said that the program is not paid neither by the company nor by the applicant. Who paid for it?
The local government. Yeah. The sustainable tourism, in our case, the regenerative tourism, is a question of government. It's a question of territory. So every year we have a plan, which a presupuesto, which all the part of, with a budget, economy budget, who pays all the programs. So is the government. In this case, it calls Sociedad de Promoción Exterior de Lanzarote, which is common known as Turismo Lanzarote. Is who pays everything, okay, through the government budget.
Any further questions around that? Then I have a question for you, Mr. Jordin. In the decision of Torroella de Montgrí back in the 83 plan, okay, if somebody can translate in Spanish, maybe it's better. Okay. Yeah, please, go ahead. In the decision to regenerate the coastal area and to not build the construction that was planned, what was the response from the public and the public sector, sorry, no, the private sector and the community? Because I can imagine the private sector had a strong interest.
Je réponds en français.
Yeah, because the French is also translated with the supposedly.
En français? Bien. C'est une décision que je pense que le territoire, les personnes de Torroella de l'Estartit ont compris, mais pas des petits secteurs de la construction, les promoteurs immobiliers et du tourisme. Sorry. De tourisme. Mais je pense que 1983, c'est une histoire. 2001, c'est autre histoire. Et aujourd'hui, la majorité des territoires ont entendu que les politiques de reconduction, les politiques régénératives à ces territoires, ils sont nécessaires et c'est très positif aussi pour ces secteurs critiques au commencement avec ces politiques.
So the private sector, in the end, did recognize the long-term financial benefits of non-construction, non-big infrastructure development on the coastal zone.
So it has been very difficult in the first two periods, in 1983 and in 2001. Then it has been, the first one was more difficult, the second one is worse difficult. Sorry. No, but it's what you said. So the first one is more difficult, the second one less difficult, but now that,
It's starting, so it has taken quite a few decades before.
Oui, mais je pense que la grande majorité des gens des territoires, ils défendent ces politiques parce qu'ils ont retourné à la confirmation de ces politiques avec les votations démocratiques, parce que les grands défenseurs des territoires ont gagné plusieurs élections municipales. Je pense que c'est un renforcement, une capacité de notre territoire de faire une politique urbanistique différente de toute la Costa Brava. Aujourd'hui, Torroella de Montgrí et l'Estartit, c'est un référent de tourisme régénératif et de politique urbanistique de régénération du territoire.
Okay. For for Jose Maria, I had a question on. You said what we need is more fair tourism. But for regenerative destinations, are then they going hand in hand, or do you need first fair tourism and then regenerative, and then with that regenerative destinations, or what should come first? Do you have an
It's a good question. For me, it's a question of, they have to be in parallel, because the point is that what I feel when I work also as marketeer and planner for some destinations, is that we go at different speeds. So we go at a very full speed, for example, very high speed from the point of view of the environment, or very high speed for the point of view of innovation in technology. But then when you look at what are we doing about the society, including the employees, we are not going at the same speed. So we have much more in terms of investment, and this can be proved by the budgets. It's not just a question, it's not a political stuff, it's a question of money. If I analyze the impact of the different projects and they see where we are spending the money, if we compare the money spent in environmental issues, which are important, and technological too, and we compare what are we doing, for example, to make the local young people more competitive, and this is why Victor was talking about why we don't have people to work in the industry in some places, because with a normal salary with the industry, they cannot survive in this place. So this, for me, is the total failure of the destination. If this is happening, there is no use of talking about regenerative or whatever, because then we are failing the big stuff. And so for me, this is important. The other thing is that some destinations and some companies, they are quite clever. They know that. This is not my invention. They know this is happening, and then they suddenly change in the last 2-3 years. I forgot to mention that, it was in my mind. And they changed from the greenwashing, now it's the human touch washing. So now they know that people is a bit fed up
Human touch washing.
Human touch washing. It's not it's the green washing, take out the green and then put the human touch. And instead of saying, oh, we take care of the environment and the water, the energy, the landscape, and now suddenly they start talking, oh no, we take a lot of care of the people. We are not a company, we are a family. Some hotel companies I see, I talk to the people and they are so, it's like a cult. And they say, you are employees. No, we are not employees. We are part of a big family. A big family, probably tomorrow your father will fire you. And your father is not paying you, not paying you enough to survive in a proper house. But then it's your father, apparently. So it's coming out a new paternalism in some companies. I don't want to mention companies. I know all the because I studied that, so I know. But I will not mention. I never mention the sinner, only the sin. But this is happening. And then if do this, the total model fails because then we are adding. Sorry to be a bit insisting in that. Is not only unfair, is uncompetitive because at the end we are losing the best qualified people, so the same people we train in the public money go to work somewhere else where they are better paid, and now we have to substitute it by people of lower quality from the point of view of the service. And then it's like, and then we need more money to qualify these people, and then we never stop. And then and the final thing is that when you talk about this to the tourism authorities, they say, no, it's not that fault. It's a problem of health department. It's a problem of social welfare. It's a problem, it's your problem. Because tourism, if we live on tourism, is our problem. It's not, and then the tourism authorities pass the ball to somebody else. And this is also, it's a fail of integral vision. That's the point.
Thank you. Yeah, clear. My next question is actually also for Xiang Kan. And it's actually a common question or challenge, I think, in regenerative tourism is how to measure it, how to measure the impact and say that, because that's the objective of regenerative tourism, that after tourism it becomes a better place than before, or with tourism it is a better place than before. But how to make these measurements, and I was wondering in Xiang Kan, do you use some kind of indicators, or have you indications that what is the contribution of tourism to the beautiful place that you showed on the slides? Is it nature that's better conserved? Are families having a more wealthy life? Is there some kind of indication measured as far as you can?
I have to be very honest. This is my very personal opinion. I am in representation of Community Tour Xiang Kan.
You can go ahead and translate and see what.
Let me go with Roman.
Yeah.
¿Cuál es tu impresión del impacto del turismo en la bella zona donde trabajamos? ¿Hay alguna manera de medir el impacto que produce para la comunidad? I'm missing something of the question.
If there's measurable indicators that you use or that you know about, what is the positive impact of your community tours?
Indicadores de medición para...
Sí, muy buena pregunta. El turismo comunitario para nosotros es una actividad, es un medio que nosotros usamos para la conservación de la biodiversidad. Y ese medio se convierte también en un medio de generación de medios de vida dignos a través de empleos, a través de la generación de ingresos para la gente de la comunidad. Involucramos una cadena de valor muy grande porque no solamente los que prestan servicios turísticos se benefician, sino también los que producen la miel, los que producen las hortalizas, los que producen las artesanías. Entonces están involucrados muchas familias, no solamente es una tour operadora, sino varios grupos, varias cooperativas que están involucrados y que se benefician de esta actividad económica.
So you're saying that, is there anyone who doesn't understand Spanish? I think it's very Spanish gathering today, but... Okay. No, I was wondering if anybody needs a translation from Spanish into English. Okay, sorry, there. Answered that there's a lot of families benefiting from the tours. It has a big impact, but I understand there hasn't been any quantifiable measures taken. I understand we have 5 more minutes. Oh, 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes before we head into the final session. So maybe I can also then have the same question to Francisco to also. In Puyuhuapi, do you?
The application is my friend now.
I see. In Puyuhuapi, do you use measurable indicators for the benefit of tourism to the community, whether it's in environment, in nature conservation, or in the economic sense?
My application.
2 more minutes. 2 minutos.
2 minutos. Sí, Puyuhuapi tiene distintos indicadores donde vamos midiendo. Trabajamos muy de la mano con los parques y por lo tanto en ese sentido estamos trabajando en cómo compensamos ciertas acciones en conjunto. Tenemos una sobrecarga importante también de personas, sobre todo por época, y eso también ya lo tenemos medido. Ahora, para responder bien a la pregunta, creo que la discusión que tenemos hoy es la discusión que se estaba haciendo en la conferencia, de ver realmente cuál decisión tomar, el turismo como sí o industria turística. Y ese paso, en ese paso estamos. Por lo tanto, hoy día creo que una medición importante que hemos podido hacer es que tenemos que conversar de nuevo y tomar una decisión en conjunto con la comunidad. Lo conversábamos con el equipo acá y es algo que vamos a tener que hacer. No podemos basarnos en lo que dice el operador turístico solamente, sino que lo que tiene que ver con el entorno completo. Y ahí puedo complementar, no sé, muy largo parece, ¿no?
No, estuvo
Thank you so much. I think also we can finish the session because we have to go to the plenary to close the conference. But I think it's good to just highlight it is, when talking about regenerative tourism, it is very good to the wider community to be able to indicate what the actual positive impact is that the tourism can have. Keen to help you also with KPIs, monitoring frameworks developed by Green Destinations to help you doing that and make your case to your stakeholders. Let's finish up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, dear presenters. It's been absolutely a great pleasure to have this Spanish session with you in honor of Josep. Thank you so much.
Te manda las fotos que te he sacado yo. Lo que pasa es que, macho, la puta esquina, cabrón.
406.